Hi, and welcome to our new webinar. Today, we will talk about how to launch a centralized NFT platform like NBA Top Shot. My name is Chris, webinar analyst for Empire Global Partners, and I'm glad to be your virtual guide through this webinar. Before we get started, I wanted to direct your attention to the email address here on the screen, info@empireglobal.partners. This is the best way to get in touch with us about anything we go over here today, and we love hearing from you. We welcome all questions and comments. Please use this email to send your questions. They will come directly to our representatives who monitor this email 24/7. So I assure you that you will receive a reply to all of your questions quickly and confidentially. For those of you who do not know us, let us introduce ourselves. Empire Global Partners is an international consultancy firm that has served clients from all over the world, with a network of attorneys, accountants, and consultants who are pioneers in strategic legal planning for online casinos, banking, and cryptocurrency. They represent hundreds of cryptocurrency companies and several cryptocurrency exchanges where top tokens are traded. The creator of this and our other webinars is Lionel Eyrich, the expert on the topic of cryptocurrency at Empire Global Partners. Lionel is well known across the globe as an expert in the cryptocurrency, online gaming, and international business space, representing thousands of companies. Lionel is Senior Managing Counsel for Empire Global Partners, and he is a legal counsel and advisor for hundreds of companies in over 40 countries. As we spoke about NFTs in our previous webinar, now we will remind you what are exactly NFTs and how they work. An NFT, non-fungible tokens, is a digital asset that represents real-world objects like art, music, in-game items, and videos. These tokens are based on Ethereum blockchain technology, cannot be replaced by any other value, and are unique in that sense. If we take as an example a real image from the market, NFT token can be considered digital works of art, such as graphics, images, photographs, music, parts, and video games, whose value is expressed in Ethereum or Bitcoin cryptocurrency, whose value is later translated into dollars. NFT behaves like a cryptocurrency. It exists on a blockchain, it has value, it can be traded. On the other hand, it is visually striking enough to be better called NFT's creation, or even simpler, NFT's digital assets. These tokens are characterized by uniqueness, just as a work of art can be unique. There are also partially unique tokens, but also those that are more but are limited in number. Among others, this is a feature that significantly affects the price. NFT is also indivisible. This token cannot be divided into halves or into several parts, but acts exclusively in its entirety, unlike, for example, Bitcoin. One of the largest markets for NFT, more precisely virtual assets, is OpenSea, where there are a variety of GIFs, animations, simple graphics, and whose creators can earn millions of dollars by buying some of these works of art, which we will talk about later in the webinar. Although they've been around since 2014, NFTs are gaining notoriety now because they are becoming an increasingly popular way to buy and sell digital artwork. In 2017, the world witnessed the birth of CryptoKitties. NFTs are a unit of data, specifically blockchain-based digital files. But it is important to say that access to any copy of the original file is not limited to the owner of the token. Although the digital files themselves are infinitely repeatable, the NFTs that represent them are tracked on their core blocks and provide customers with proof of ownership of the NFTs. As the NFT principle is based on uploading digital materials to the Ethereum blockchain, this procedure leads to the codification of NFT, which later leads to the establishment of price, ownership, and transfer records, thus preventing digital forgery or file replication. Once shipped, NFT will exist permanently on the blockchain as long as the system itself is operational. There are no two NFTs that are completely identical, because each piece contains unique digital properties. Even if the artist publishes two works without clear physical differences, the metadata encoded in each NFT is different. However, what is important to say here is that within the NFT system and tokenization, it is necessary to fully protect intellectual property. Apart from artists, celebrities also had their notable and significant share in NFT token trading. Namely, in 2019, the NBA League released Top Shots, More precisely, short summaries of games in Reels format, which generated $230 million via blockchain. The clip of LeBron James and Zion Williamson alone had a value of $200,000. A well-known musician in the United States, 3LAU, sold his first crypto album through an auction in less than 24 hours for $11 million. YouTuber Logan Paul also sold his NFT, more precisely his graphical version of Pokemon, for $5 million. NFTs are typically held on the Ethereum blockchain, although other blockchains support them as well. Now we will talk about centralized platforms. NFTs are fundamentally altering many industries by creating a new paradigm for creating ownership directly between artists and their communities, detached from centralized companies. When we talk about centralizing data, we refer to a centralized data infrastructure for collecting, processing, and storing data. A centralized system operates with a central authority in control of the data and functions of a platform. Centralized systems store user data and information from a central point. When you combine this type of centralization with an NFT marketplace, you introduce many major risks, including the potential loss of NFTs you have created or collected, deplatforming, censoring, data tampering, and lack of NFT portability. Despite NFTs being decentralized, most of the primary NFT marketplaces have centralized elements like any other website. When you buy an NFT, the token itself is stored on the blockchain, but because on-chain storage of large files is very expensive, the art or media that the token correlates to is usually stored off-chain. This is a problem for collectors who want to be sure that they still own their NFT, even if the centralized company that minted it stops operating. NFTs are typically held on the Ethereum blockchain, although other blockchains support them as well. This is not the case with all platforms. All content provided here is for informational purposes only and is not to be substituted for legal advice. A money business is a highly regulated sector, and all steps that you take when considering starting or operating your exchange must comply with the law. The experts at Empire Global Partners have worked with thousands of clients to help them make the right decisions for their particular situation and jurisdiction, and minimize any extra costs or fines that could arise from legal oversight. It is highly recommended to get in touch with your legal team as soon as possible about this process. NBA Top Shot is a blockchain-based platform that allows fans to buy, sell, and trade numbered versions of specific, officially licensed video highlights of NBA players and moments, like a LeBron James dunk or a Vince Carter three-pointer. The copyright owner of a digital file or asset has the exclusive legal right to create an NFT for the asset. For Top Shot, the owner of the copyright is the NBA. While some NFTs confer true ownership of the copyright of an NFT, allowing the purchaser to do whatever they want with it, the NBA sells Top Shot NFTs accompanied with various restrictions, including a restriction on the right to make copies for commercial exploitation. Although the NBA's terms state that you own the underlying NFT completely, the NBA is only selling a license to the game highlight that is portrayed in the NFT, and not the underlying copyright, which is retained by the NBA. These licenses prohibit any right to modify, alter, or commercialize the NBA highlight. Had the NFTs contained the rights to the intellectual property itself, there would be no limitations, and Top Shot purchasers would theoretically be able to, among other things, reproduce, distribute, and exploit the digital highlight for profit. NBA Top Shot is the brainchild of a company called Dapper Labs. After the success of their first major NFT project, called CryptoKitties, the imaginative minds of Dapper Labs slowly built the NBA Top Shot platform to cater to the league's massive market. The company came into an agreement with the NBA and the NBA Players Association, which helped launch the blockchain-based project and made things official. More than $780 million in collectibles has been bought and sold on the platform, with over 13 million transactions recorded. The NBA cuts the highlights, and then Dapper Labs decides how many of each highlight they're going to sell and number them. They place each highlight into digital packs, just like regular trading cards, and sell the packs on the official NBA Top Shot website for prices ranging from $9 to $230. The pack prices depend on the quality of the highlight, the stardom level of the player, and the exclusiveness of the card. Once you purchase a pack, those highlights go into your encrypted, secure highlight wallet to be showcased or resold on the NBA Top Shot marketplace. The NFT platform development like NBA Top Shot runs efficiently on the blockchain network protocol. NFTs sold on this platform are enormous in numbers and have great attraction between millions of users. There are various NFT packs available on this platform for users to buy for a specific price listed. It can provide quick transfers for the NFT buyers with less traffic on the platform like NBA Top Shot. Each collectible's value depends on each player or team's stardom and the quality it holds for its exclusiveness. NFT purchased by the user will be encrypted and stored in the wallet securely for showcasing or reselling it again on the marketplace. As we said earlier, NBA Top Shot runs on the Flow blockchain developed by Dapper Labs after it suffered poor performance using Ethereum with CryptoKitties back in 2017. Flow now has 2,000 developers building on the platform. Since you know how NFT marketplaces work and what types of platforms are on the market, you can start launching your own NFT platform. Also, consider features what has to be added to your NFT marketplace. Next, you need technology stacks like blockchain platforms, storage platforms, NFT standards, and front-end framework. Use ready-made software or turn to a software development company. The second option is more expensive, but there will be no restrictions in functionality. You can hire blockchain developers who are well-versed in using the Flow blockchain network and take the next steps like contract deployment by sending instructions to the command line interface, CLI of Flow. Create an empty NFT collection post-deployment of the contract, and much more steps, to not confuse you here. The best option is to get in touch with Empire Global. Our team of professionals will help you with all the steps. An individual approach is important for us, and we take care of the needs of your business. Send us an email at info@empireglobal.partners and get in touch with us. Our website is empireglobal.partners. Connect with us on social media, so make sure you find us on Facebook at Empire Global Partners, Twitter at Empire Globals, Medium at Empire-Global, and we're also on YouTube. On behalf of Empire Global Partners, I want to thank you for joining us. See you at the next webinar.